If I had a teacher that told me that they really don't have time to incorporate social studies into their curriculum, I would tell them, hey, I get how overwhelming the schedule can be, and I understand that there's a lot to pack into one day, but I just wanted to share that there are so many different ways that you can incorporate social studies into all of the different subjects. Obviously, English language arts is probably one of the easiest ones. Swap out some of those fiction narratives with some nonfiction narratives. You can really tap into your cultural responsive teaching, look into things that kids are interested in, find the history of it, find how it came to be, where it came from, things like that. Another way that we do is in morning meetings, we'll talk about current events. It's so important for students to know what's going on in the world, and it kind of makes them care more about their lives and how they can make this world a better place and what is working against them and what is working for them, and it helps them form their own opinions about the world around them. It also could help them, you could connect it to math. One of the activities we did recently in my 5th grade classroom is we had students first read about the colonies, get all the information that they would need, and then we had them create their own colonies. Things would happen, events would happen, say, Britain got mad and charged them for tea. And so their job was to calculate, okay, what's the best step for my colony? How's this going to affect my population? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? How can I build that relationship with Britain? We had them calculating their population, so it would go up or down by hundreds or thousands depending on the event. And so this kind of ties into their math skills, especially because we were working on how place value and 10 times bigger, 10 times smaller, things like that. You could also connect it to geography. Geography is a part of social studies, and students can connect that to science, like how we sort of moved around the world and how how the way that we've moved around has impacted our culture, our society, how inventions have affected our environment, how our movement throughout the world has affected the environment, and things like that. Sorry, my cat. Also, you can incorporate pretty much arts if you're into arts. One thing that we did connecting to that colonial period is we had them, draw their own flags. They're drawing what they want their colony to represent, how it represents them. So there's a ton of different ways that you can incorporate social studies into other subjects. And it's important because it's not just history, it's also economics, and it's geography, and it's sociology, and it helps them, learn more about the world around them, like I said before, but also helps them develop critical thinking skills. By looking at different perspectives, they're able to form their own opinions. They're able to think, okay, why was this sort of narrative pushed to me, and why do I not hear from other voices? And it also helps them develop empathy when they're hearing, the hardships that people went through throughout history. They start to develop feeling for them, wow, I sympathize and I empathize with these people, and it makes them just care deeply and be better people. And it connects to I said before with the current events, it connects to their lives, and that's a huge important part of teaching, is connecting to our students' lives. When I become a teacher, I plan to make sure my curriculum and my social studies is integrating social justice and equity. For one, obviously, I'm going to incorporate different narratives, counter narratives, not just the ones that are pushed to us. If we're talking about the just discovery of America. I'm not going to say, oh my gosh, Columbus was so wonderful and all this stuff that was told to me growing up. I'm going to talk about, yeah, he wasn't the best. There were people already in America. Here's their stories. And by giving them both sides, we're developing, again, their critical thinking skills, developing their empathy. They see that marginalized groups were pushed to the side. They see how it still affects them today. And on top of that, I would also like to teach, different cultures, different experiences, looking at books, media, articles that feature, stories from underrepresented groups, because this helps defeat stereotypes early on so they don't take those into them and fester with them throughout their lives. Also, I want to talk about, how we can make that change, ways that people have made that change for themselves throughout history, what my students can do to make a change, maybe not on the world scale, but community. A lot of social studies, we could do projects where they actually contribute to their community and they make, they're like activists for their own needs and their own, what they think is important. And yeah, that's it.